Ave Maria, this is Friar Roderic here for AveMaria.com, and we're at the Cathedral of St. Patrick at the Norwich Diocese. We just had a kickoff for the 40 Days for Life campaign, which is a 40 days of prayer and fasting to end abortion across the nation. We have here Corinn Dahm of the Face of Pro-Life, who has been very instrumental in getting this going. How's it going, Corinn?
Oh, it's great. We just had a Mass celebrated by 8 priests and a deacon. What better? What more can you say? That was such a great send-off for our campaign here.
Right. It was a very good turnout and a very beautiful Mass with the organ playing and a cantor, and it was really a very spiritual event.
It was very moving. I was crying just from the whole awesomeness of the whole thing to begin with, and then I finally got my tears dried up, and then the cantor broke into Ave Maria, and I just lost it. It was just too beautiful.
It's a good thing to cry about, and so this is a big fruition of all your past efforts too, right?
You know what? This 40 Days for Life campaign is the culmination of everybody's pro-life efforts. It is after 34, almost 35 years of struggling and, just working so hard to try to end abortion, we're finally getting it. We're finally just throwing our hands up, dropping to our knees and saying, you know what, it's in your hands, God. We're only human. We can't do anything. And I know the angels are smiling up in heaven saying, duh, they finally get it.
It takes us a little while. We're a little slow, but we're getting it. This is an ecumenical effort, and it's a national effort, right?
It's a national effort. It's in 89 cities throughout the United States and 33 states, and including Washington, D.C. And yes, it's a huge, huge event. I mean, the national organizers were expecting 15, maybe 20 cities to sign up, so they were flabbergasted when 89 cities signed up. And people are still trying to sign up now, and they're saying, no, we can't support you, because we had to sign up by August 18th, and that way we got web support and all sorts of training, and so... yeah, it's huge.
So you've had to turn away people at the end, basically.
The national campaign had to turn cities down in the end because they didn't find out about it in time to get registered by the August 18th deadline.
You've had whole ad campaigns and everything with us, right?
We have. We've been trying to get into all the churches, not just the Catholic churches, but every church we can think of, And it's surprising how many churches actually say, well, we have people on both sides. And I want to look at the pastor and say, and that doesn't scare you?
Yeah, well, there's some of that, unfortunately. But so this is 40 days of prayer and fasting. Now, the 40 days of it's going to start tonight, right?
It starts at midnight tonight, and it's going to be prayer and fasting, which obviously is important to join our prayers with our fasting. It's going to be 40 days of constant vigil outside of Planned Parenthood here in Norwich, and it's 40 days of outreach, media outreach and door-to-door campaigns, talking with people, letting them know the harm that abortion does to women, the idea that, adoption is a much better choice for an unwanted baby or unplanned pregnancy, and that God is waiting to heal all the women and men who are hurting from abortion.
That's a pretty broad campaign then. It's not just praying in front of abortion clinics. It's a lot.
Certainly not. No, it's bringing more people to the awareness of the harm that abortion has done in the United States and around the world. And it's really bringing everybody into the pro-life movement. Everybody can pray and fast. Most of us can stand vigil. And some of us can go out door to door talking with our fellow neighbors about abortion.
And all this is going on in 89 cities across the nation. And what about the fasting part of it? What's that involved?
The fasting just joins our prayers, amplifies them, shows God that we are sacrificing, that we really mean business this time. It's not just efforts, just to toot our own horns, or it's all in His hands.
Right. It's a direct offering to God, right? Is there any kind of criterion you're proposing for the fasting? Or?
Actually, we're not. Some people are fasting on the bread and water with vitamin supplements. We're not really proposing that for everybody because not everybody is healthy enough to do that. But one of the big things we're suggesting is to fast from television.
Wow.
It's something that takes you away from God. And while you're fasting from television, get off your butt and go pray at the vigil.
There you go. That's a real productive way of fasting, I think. So it's 40 days of prayer and fasting. That's based on the 40 days that our Lord prayed and fasted in the desert primarily, right?
Yeah, and it's also it's basically all the transformations that occurred in the Bible. Moses was transformed by the 40 days on the mountain. Noah was transformed by the 40 days of rain. The disciples were transformed by the 40 days following Christ's resurrection. So we are looking for that kind of a transformation. It's a miraculous transformation, and only God can do it. So that's what the 40 days is all about.
Since the dawn of man, God has used 40 days to bring about major transformation in towns, in cities, in nations, and throughout the world. Noah was transformed by 40 days of rain. Moses was transformed by 40 days on the mountain. Jesus was transformed by 40 days in the desert. The disciples were transformed by 40 days following Christ's resurrection. This fall it will happen again as communities unite together to transform America. Through 40 days of prayer and fasting, 40 days of constant vigil, 40 days of community outreach, 40 days that will mark the beginning of the end of abortion in America.
It's a miracle in itself, the coming together of 89 cities with many denominations and a coordinated effort of prayer and the vigils in front of the abortion clinics is a big operation, and it's really quite a miracle right there. We hope to have many more miracles coming from this event.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think the biggest miracle is that people have really dug in their heels and really have made this effort almost effortless. You know, people in Norwich have been phenomenal as far as getting the message out, you know, recruiting people, and it really hasn't been a burden on any one person or, you know, the usual 20. Right. You know, so it's really been an enjoyable effort, and of course, I could finish right now just after the Mass. It was just so great. But we got a long road ahead of us.
It's a long road, 40 days ahead of us, and it's going to be a lot of prayer, a lot of fasting. But I think we're ready to go here, and God bless you, Corinn.
Thank you. Thanks for helping us out here.
Well, it's good to be here, and it's really exciting to see it all come together. A lot of work is coming to fruition now, and it's a grand effort across the nation, and it's a wonderful sign that things are coming to life in the pro-life world, and hopefully the world will take notice. Ave Maria, this is Friar Roderic for AveMaria.com.